isn't it? It's hard to see. Can you test the volume when I do this, or is it pretty well set?
Let's see.
I'm fixing to unmute it. Hello, my name is Tim Fortner from Transitions Optical, and today we want to talk about a turning point in setting your practice GPS. The information I'll be giving you comes from our market research to let you know what's happening. The optical industry and vision care is on the cusp of the most dramatic change to occur in our profession and industry in decades. I've been in the industry 45 years. Some of you listening may have been in that long. When you look back, you realize if we look at our history, it took years for plastic to replace glass, for polycarbonate to gain a foothold, for progressive lenses to replace laptop bifocals. And yet, now we're going to see something that's going to happen within the next 2 years. So we want to make sure that you are aware of this technology that's changing the delivery of lenses, of vision care, and it's changing the expectations of your patients. You want to make sure you're making the right turns, for the margin of error is slimmer than ever before. With aggressive competition and a sluggish economy, you cannot miss this turn. So think of this as your MapQuest directions for the future. So let's take a look at the future. As Yogi Berra once said, the future ain't what it used to be. Would you be surprised if I told you by the end of 2014, the world's largest lens manufacturer says 70% of their progressive lenses would be digital? I find when I bring this information to audiences, there's a lot of raised eyebrows. I see a lot of people say, wow, and begin to talk to their neighbors and ask them, what are you doing? Are you this far along? This new technology for lens fabrication is revolutionizing vision care and the standard for what is the best optical solution. At Transitions, we're keeping up with technology too. Probably by now you've heard of the new Transitions Vantage lenses. They're just an example of how technology is changing the way we come to the market with technology and products to help our patients see better. The True Transitions Vantage is a prime example. It's an everyday lens that not only darkens to filter light when exposed to UV, but also polarizes as it darkens without using polarizing film. I would have said that was impossible a few years ago. Now then we see the impossible made possible. Add to that the innovations and improvements we continue to see in anti-reflective coating, and you're beginning to see what we believe is the new standard of vision correction. This will include an all-inclusive lens that offers one of the 3 everyday Transitions photochromics with AR in a digitally fabricated lens material of choice. Just as plastic lens technology came to offer UV filters and scratch coating as standard, this is becoming the new standard in the adaptive light control. And it could not come at a better time than in the 21st century, where vision demands are greater than ever before. The reduction in inventory costs alone will provide the way for what every consumer has come to expect. They expect new technology to be better, to improve their life, but they also especially expect it to eventually lower prices. This will pave the way for what we're already seeing, an all-inclusive lens offering that offers custom designed lenses, Transitions photochromic, AR coating, scratch coating, and a UV filter. So if you're putting in your GPS, here's your first direction change. Turn right ahead. You don't want to miss this next turn. Let's look at the changes that are taking place. And this, by the way, are topics that we will actually cover in more detail in future seminars, as this really is the first in a 4-part series about what's happening in the industry and in vision care. But these are 5 areas that our market research shows are not really being leveraged as fully as they should be. First of all, we see the rising concern of healthy sight. Why is this happening? First of all, if you look at the demographics, what we have is an aging population living longer. Would you believe that the fastest growing age segment is now over age 85? And of course, the largest segment is the baby boomers, the youngest of which are 48, the oldest of which are turning 66. People are living longer and working longer. And two studies that I recently looked at, one from Bausch & Lomb and a Nutrition Society, and an earlier study done by the American Foundation for Blindness, shows a definite rising concern about healthy sight. Why is this happening? First of all, you have an aging population, but also underneath this, our research shows that of the 77 million baby boomers, approximately 17 or 18 million are primary caregivers for elderly parents or in-laws. And they see what happens when you lose your sight. It's the difference between independent living and assisted living. We have a new consumer, has new values. This is some research that we began in 2008 when the recession happened. The people who are doing this research have turned out to be true prophets. What they told us was, we are seeing the most fundamental shift in consumer behavior we have ever seen. They said this consumer is going to be more frugal, this consumer is going to be better informed. In fact, I particularly like what one researcher said when they said, this buyer is getting better at buying than most sellers are at selling. But what is most interesting is how they've redefined value. It is not how little they pay for something, but how much they get for what they pay. They're looking for multi-app, multitasking, multi-benefit products. And we have the technology that meets their need. It's a new world of vision. Would you believe in 2012 we're celebrating the 150th anniversary of the Snellen Vision Acuity Chart, which said in 1862, this is the standard for normal vision, the ability to see a 3-inch black letter against a white screen at 20 feet. I don't think 2020 is always enough in the 21st century. We have a new world of vision that's been created by technology. Combine that with an aging population, and guess what? As you age, the eye's ability to control light diminishes, and technology is complicated. You have an aging population living longer, working longer in a complicated world of vision who are looking for multi-app solutions. We also have got to tap in on this love affair this consumer has with technology. Do you know why they love their technology? They love their technology because it allows them to manipulate their life the way they want to live it. You no longer have to watch TV. You can watch entertainment when you want to, where you want to. Look around you. You see people on their smartphones, on their iPads, on their e-readers, on their laptops, looking at this kind of information not only in the workplace but in their private life. It is a part of their life. And what do they need to connect them to this technology that connects them to everything else? They need eyesight that will allow them to see what they now depend on. So let's take a look at some things that never change. I believe if you looked in a textbook for the definition of the science of vision, that it probably hasn't changed in decades. Here's what is the definition of the science of vision. The science of vision is the study of how light enters the eye and is transformed into our perception of the world around us. Here's what's changed. The definition has not changed, but what has changed is the technology that allows us to control light like we've never been able to before. At Transitions, that's all we're about, is about light control, and we continue to expand the technology and explore new ways to control light that will help people in an ever-changing environment. Here's what else doesn't change. Your duty as an eye care professional has not changed. You see, your job every day with every patient is to fully and honestly advise them of all that will restore, maintain, and enhance their vision. And everybody wants to know what are the latest enhancements. What are the latest apps that you have that will allow me to live my life better? And so that is what you're to do. That duty has not changed, but the technology that we have that will allow you to enhance vision has changed. And guess what else hasn't changed? Your patients expect the best care. Ask any patient when they come in at the beginning of an exam or the beginning of the process, what would you like to be able to see today? And they'll probably look at you like, well, I want to see my best. But is the best a 150-year-old standard of seeing a 3-inch black letter against a white screen? Or is it a combination of multiple apps and benefits that allow them, even in multiple pairs, to perform the tasks they perform every day? What's changed is the expectation that technology has brought to everybody's life. Here's what I figured out in 45 plus years. There There are 5 functions that you perform every day you cannot ignore. Let me tell you briefly what they are. Sales, marketing, financials, patient care, which is your operation, and quality control, which means I simply look at how to improve each of these functions. Let me start with a very basic question, but it's one that you must answer. Do you have a daily sales goal? And if you do, does everybody on your team understand what their role is in meeting that daily sales goal? Marketing, the other function, sometimes you look at that and say, that's what we do outside the office. That's our advertising. That's our signage. That's those things. And that is external marketing, which somebody probably in your office or on your team handles. But internal marketing is probably even the more critical. And that is what each of you do. And to me, it's educating the patient. There's 4 activities that determine the level of your success. Again, this is what you do every day. And how well you perform these will be the difference between an average day and an above average day. Here's your 4 activities. You diagnose problems. And what we see is there are a lot of people who are now looking and exploring the technology, the high tech that allows them to make and determine and diagnose within the nth degree with precise new instrumentation. And guess what? People expect that, especially in healthcare. So you diagnose the problems. Here's your second activity. You then design a solution. This is one of the most critical processes. This is where you must make sure you're keeping up to date with new technology so you can fully educate the patient what will enhance their vision and not just restore it. The third activity is building relationships. Building relationships is based on the solution that you design. The better the solution, the stronger the relationship. When you design a solution for somebody that is customized, personalized, has multi-apps that provide multi-benefits, you will build a stronger relationship, and from there you will develop. The fourth activity, develop opportunities. 3 things you want your patients to do, and this is very simple. You want them to pay their bills, to come back and refer others. So you need a strategy that allows you to build loyalty as well as referrals. And that's what technology can do for you. I can tell you from our study, from our consumer research of people who wear our product, I can tell you this about the average transition lens wearer. They spend more revenue per visit, they visit more often, they own multiple pairs, and they're interested in new technology. Who would not want to develop a patient like that? 2 major concerns that you face every day you open the office: the volume of patients and the revenue per patient. If you have a low volume, you need a high revenue per. If you have a low revenue, you need a high volume. And so what you want to look at is what will keep people coming back. What will give us a higher revenue per that allows us to meet the needs of our patients. Here's your number 1 priority. If you get this one right, it will probably take care of the other 4. Your priority, and this is probably the biggest challenge you face on a daily basis, is to create and manage the perception of value in the eyes of the patient so you are the preferred provider of choice. So here's some terms you don't want to miss. We've defined the science of vision. The science of vision is a study of how light enters the eye and is transformed in our perception of the world around us. When you diagnose problems, what you look at is what is keeping the eye from properly controlling the light. Is it disease? Is it injury? Is it refractive error, which we expect probably 70% of the public has? Or is it the effect of aging? See, aging diminishes the eye's ability to control light. When we talk about those presbyopes, those baby boomers, here's what each one of them is experiencing. They're having problems with small print, with low light, with dark adaptation, night vision, and bright sunlight. By age 60, they got a third of the light come to their eyes when they're 20. So what you have to do is to give them something that replaces what age is diminished and what technology is complicated. That calls for multi-ounce of technology with transitions in AR leading the way, combined with a digital fabricated lens. You see, today's workplace and lifestyle has increased the demand on our vision system. I believe the eye is working at a breakneck pace. I believe it's like running a marathon, one marathon after another, as we constantly sit in front of our laptops, our smartphones, our iPads. They're never away from us for very long. We're checking Facebook, we're looking at email, and it's not just young people that are doing this. Grandparents are keeping up with their grandchildren on Facebook. They're spending time on their smartphone with FaceTime, actually talking to their grandchildren face to face. So what we want to know is this, is what you want to make sure of. The all-inclusive technology of adaptive light control is here to stay. And why shouldn't it be? You have an aging population working longer in a visually challenging workplace that has a need for something to help them see better in low light and bright light. And by the way, night vision or dark adaptation is affected by how long you spend in the bright sunlight without proper protection. So this is where you want to make sure you're headed, that you're looking at all of your presbyopes, who I believe are a candidate not only for the digital technology that gives them limitless vision vertically and horizontally with digital designs, but by including AR and transitions. And I believe both of these applications are great technology in and of themselves, but when you put them together, AR makes transitions better, and transitions makes AR better. And what it does is it gives your patients a product and a technology that most closely mimics the performance of the eye. So what is the new next normal going to be? Is 2020 going to still be the standard for normal vision? What will the new next normal be? Well, I submit to you we're seeing it already. A digitally fabricated lens that corrects vision better than ever before, that provides visual acuity that surpasses anything before, and a lens technology that includes the ability to adapt to real life so that your patients can see life well lived. Stay tuned for the upcoming webinars as we'll look at how to leverage these opportunities, how to create value, and how to employ conversational and what to say when, and much more. Thank you. And by the way, here's some information that if you will send me an email, I'll be glad within 3 to 5 business days to get back to you with 3 documents which I think you'll find very interesting that contain some of this information we've just discussed.